After turning 60, many seniors notice something strange, but hard to explain. A small cut takes longer to heal. A cold turns into a lingering cough. Simple fatigue sticks around longer than it used to. Behind all these signs lies one invisible truth. Your immune system is no longer what it once was. It's not your fault. Aging naturally weakens the body's internal defense system. Fewer white blood cells, slower response to viruses, and more inflammation. But here's what most seniors don't realize. While you can't stop aging, you can slow immune decline and even rebuild your strength by changing simple daily habits. Today, I'll walk you through 7 specific, science-backed habits that doctors, nutritionists, and elderly wellness experts in the US and Europe recommend. These habits go far beyond eat healthy or get rest. They include emotional, physical, and even social patterns that reactivate your body's natural defenses. You'll also hear stories of real seniors, like 70-year-old Ellen from Oregon, who turned their health around with small but consistent changes. These stories aren't just proof, they're inspiration. Stay with me to the end, because habit 5 is the most overlooked, yet the most powerful. If you care about your health and longevity, subscribe now to Elderly Reflections, where senior health, inspiration, and life lessons from the elderly come alive every week. They say age is just a number, but after 60, your immune system starts writing a story of its own. It's quieter than a diagnosis, subtler than a fever, but it's there. The sniffles that linger, the cuts that heal slower, the fatigue that takes longer to fade. The good news, there are ways to turn the page. Simple daily habits that rebuild your internal defense from the inside out. In this part, we'll begin exploring the first 3 habits that doctors and elderly wellness experts across North America and Europe recommend. But more than that, you'll meet people whose lives quietly changed when they took these habits seriously. Let's begin. Let's start with the quiet power of a protein-lead morning. Because what you eat first sets the rhythm for your body's defenses all day. Most older adults wake up with light breakfasts, toast, coffee, sometimes nothing. But your immune system, especially after 60, needs protein to activate. Protein builds antibodies, supports white blood cells, and strengthens muscle mass that supports overall immune resilience. Studies published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging confirm that seniors who consume at least 25 grams of protein in the morning have fewer infections and respond better to seasonal illnesses. What's important to understand is that this habit isn't just about food. It's about priming your system. Think of your immune system as a team of mechanics. Overnight, they've rested, but when you wake, they need tools. Not just caffeine, protein provides those tools, the amino acids that form antibodies and repair tissue. Bill Thomason, a 72-year-old retired firefighter in Ohio, his doctor didn't prescribe a pill. He recommended a habit. Start every day with eggs, Greek yogurt, and almonds. I didn't think breakfast mattered that much, Bill says, but I haven't caught a cold in over a year now. He also noticed sharper focus and steadier energy. More than just feeling better, Bill's blood work improved, his immune markers strengthened. Over time, he built variations: cottage cheese with berries, oatmeal with chia and nuts, and his favorite, smoked salmon on whole grain toast. What started as a small dietary shift became a ritual of care. A moment to say, I'm worth nourishing. And there's something else. This habit restores autonomy. Many seniors lose control of their time, their diet, their body. But one solid breakfast? That's power reclaimed. As we often say at Elderly Reflections, your breakfast doesn't just break a fast, it wakes up your entire immune army. Next, we go beyond movement. We explore how walking in the right place, with the right intent, can rejuvenate your immune response from within. Everyone knows walking is good for you. But did you know that where you walk may be just as important as how much? New research reveals that seniors who walk in natural environments, not sidewalks but green parks and quiet trails, see a measurable boost in immune response. A 2021 study from the University of British Columbia found that older adults walking 20 minutes a day in forested areas had higher natural killer cells, NK cell activity, and reduced cortisol, the stress hormone that can suppress immune function. That means stronger resistance to infection and a calmer, more balanced body. This is not just about walking, it's about healing movement. The body isn't a machine, it's an ecosystem, and ecosystems respond best in nature. Sunlight increases vitamin D, tree compounds boost immunity, birdsong lowers heart rate. Margaret Ellis, a 68-year-old widow from Scotland, experienced this firsthand. After her husband's passing, she stayed indoors for months and fell into a spiral of low energy, depression, and frequent colds. Her daughter gave her simple advice: "Mom, go walk where the trees are." Margaret took the old trail near her village, winding through birch trees and ferns. At first it was just a walk, but weeks later she noticed her mood lifting, the fatigue faded. Most importantly, she didn't get sick that winter. "It was like my body started trusting me again," she says. Over time, Margaret began adding layers to her ritual: light stretching, deep breathing, and a gratitude list she repeated silently with every step. Her walk became more than a routine. It became a restoration. Margaret's story is one of many. Forest bathing, or Shinryoku as it's known in Japan, has been studied for its remarkable immune benefits. And for seniors, the practice combines low-impact exercise with the natural benefits of phytoncides, aromatic compounds released by plants which enhance immune activity. Even small green spaces count. If you live in a city, find a botanical garden, a patch of trees by a library, a shaded trail by a stream. So don't just walk. Walk where your soul breathes. Trees don't just offer oxygen, they offer repair, reflection, and immune renewal. Now we turn to a small pleasure with a surprisingly large consequence: late-night sugar, and how it quietly steals your body's chance to heal while you sleep. Most seniors don't realize this. Eating sugar at night is one of the most effective ways to disrupt your immune system's repair process. Here's why. Your body shifts into cellular repair mode in the evening. Melatonin rises, inflammation lowers, and white blood cells go to work. It's a biological contradiction. Your body trying to clean and rebuild while sugar fuels inflammation. The result? A slower immune response, higher nighttime inflammation, and poorer sleep, which further reduces immunity the next day. Dr. Helen Grayson, a senior immunologist in Massachusetts, shared findings during a Harvard Health seminar that nighttime sugar, especially after 8 p.m., causes a delayed immune response and higher inflammation in adults over 65. Leo Vasquez, 70, learned this after 2 rough winters battling bronchitis. His doctor suggested he cut all sugar after 7 p.m. No more ice cream before bed, no sweet tea after dinner. Leo was skeptical until the results came. That winter, he didn't get sick. For the first time in years, he made it through flu season unchussed. "It shocked me," Leo admits. "I just slept better, woke up stronger, even my skin looked better." He didn't quit sugar, he just moved it earlier. Desserts became lunchtime treats. Nighttime became sacred: chamomile tea, warm milk, or cinnamon water. He even tried a tip from his granddaughter: frozen banana slices dipped in peanut butter. A treat, but before 5 p.m. Leo's story reflects a larger truth: timing matters. Our immune systems operate on circadian rhythms. And when we disrupt that rhythm with late-night indulgences, we pay with lower resilience. As we say at Elderly Reflections, after 60, your night isn't for indulgence, it's for recovery. And your immune system? It deserves the silence to do its job. These 3 habits are more than wellness tips. They are reflections of the body's quiet needs after 60. When respected, they return something powerful: strength without strain, energy without excess, and a defense system that serves you, not just survives. As we continue exploring how to strengthen the immune system after 60, let's go deeper into the second half of our journey: the habits rooted in rest, emotion, rhythm, and internal harmony. These aren't trends. They are truths drawn from the lived experiences of seniors across the US, Canada, and Europe. And they remind us, longevity doesn't come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters most. Consistently, gently, and with integrity. We begin with a powerful yet often neglected healer: sleep. It's the time your immune system performs its most crucial work. Cytokines, the proteins responsible for fighting off infections, are produced during deep sleep. Melatonin, which peaks at night, not only regulates sleep but also acts as an antioxidant, defending the body against cellular stress. For seniors, sleep quality declines naturally with age, but letting it sleep invites real danger. In a multi-year study by the University of California, seniors who slept less than 6 hours a night were found to be over 4 times more susceptible to viral infections. Irregular sleep, waking up frequently, going to bed at erratic hours, disrupted their immune cycle. But the inverse was also true. Seniors who built steady, peaceful sleep routines not only felt better. Let's revisit Phyllis Morton, 76, from Vermont. Her post-retirement nights were filled with tossing, turning, and anxiety. Rather than turn to sleeping pills, she adopted a slow, structured wind-down routine. No screens after 8, herbal tea, and jazz music. She started journaling, she bought blackout curtains, and slowly, her body remembered how to rest. Now I fall asleep like I'm being rocked, she smiled. Her immune response improved, her seasonal allergies lessened. She felt lighter. The takeaway? Your body can still learn to sleep deeply at any age, but it needs your permission, your patience, and your consistency. Now let's move from solitude to connection. Because the science is clear, loneliness is toxic. Studies from UCLA and Harvard show that chronic loneliness elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, triggers systemic inflammation, and weakens immune memory. In other words, being alone too often makes you sick more often. But meaningful social interaction, not just being around people, but being known, valued, and heard, acts like medicine for the immune system. Calvin Brooks, 81, had no idea he was lonely. After losing his wife and living far from his children, he passed his days in silence. When a neighbor invited him to a woodworking group, he hesitated. But curiosity won. The science backed what he felt. Connection reduced inflammation. His body, no longer on constant alert, shifted into repair mode. For seniors, connection doesn't require large circles, just genuine ones. One friend, one neighbor, one moment of laughter shared. Healing begins there. Let's now turn inward, to your gut, because that's where most of your immune system quietly lives. The microbiome, your inner garden of bacteria, plays a critical role in immune regulation. But as we age, antibiotic use, low-fiber diets, and stress reduce bacterial diversity. That's why fermented foods aren't just trendy, they're vital. Fermented foods like kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and yogurt introduce beneficial bacteria into the gut. These bacteria signal immune cells, reduce gut inflammation, and produce compounds that fight viruses. The Stanford trial in 2021 confirmed it. Seniors who consumed 2 servings of fermented foods daily lowered their inflammatory markers by nearly 30% in just 10 weeks. Ellen, 69, from Minnesota, knew none of this, but she did know her digestion was poor. Her energy was low, and colds lingered for weeks. Her doctor suggested trying sauerkraut. Skeptical but willing, she added a spoonful at dinner. Then came plain kefir in the morning. After a few weeks, her bloating eased, her energy lifted. That winter, no flu. Now Ellen preps her own fermented carrots. I thought I was too old to change, she said, but my gut wasn't too old to heal. The gut is not just digestion, it's defense. And fermented foods are the simplest way to rebuild its strength. Our final habit, rhythm, the unsung hero of immunity. Your immune system doesn't just work harder, it works smarter when it follows a rhythm. Scientists now understand that immune cells follow circadian patterns. They become more active at certain times of day. But if you eat, sleep, and move erratically, that rhythm breaks, and your immunity weakens. Henry Lau, 74, learned this after being diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. Doctors found nothing clinically wrong, but his life was disordered, sleeping late, skipping meals, staying indoors. A naturopath guided him through a rhythm reset, waking at the same time, eating breakfast by 8, exposing his skin to sunlight within an hour of waking, and walking every day at noon. The change, profound. Within 1 month, Henry felt clearer, calmer. His digestion improved, he no longer needed naps. It was like my immune system had been waiting for a schedule, he said. It makes sense. Cells, like people, need predictability. When they know when to fight, they rest better. When they rest better, they repair better. So here's what this part has shown us. Sleep isn't just rest, it's immune therapy. Connection isn't just social, it's cellular communication. Fermented foods aren't just gut helpers, they're immune builders. And rhythm isn't void, it's biological alignment. These 4 habits, like the first 3, don't require radical change. They require trust in your body, in time, in the slow power of consistency. Because immunity after 60 is not about resisting age. It's about cooperating with wisdom, and that wisdom lives in every one of us. Now that we've uncovered the 7 science-backed habits that can revive the immune system after 60, the question becomes, how do we apply them? It's one thing to know what helps. It's another to weave those things into the fabric of your life, day after day, in a way that feels possible, sustainable, and even joyful. The answer is rhythm. The immune system thrives not on intensity, but on consistency. That means building a daily flow that honors the body's quiet needs without overwhelming it. Let's begin in the morning. Upon waking, the body is emerging from deep repair mode. It's sensitive. It's receptive. This is the time to reinforce, not deplete. Begin with hydration, a glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or lemon. Then a protein-rich breakfast, 2 eggs, cottage cheese with fruit, or a plant-based shake. This one act primes the immune system to face the day. For people like Bill Thomason, this habit alone reduced infection frequency and increased energy. After breakfast, light movement. For Henry Lau, this meant a 20-minute walk outside, ideally near trees or water. Morning sunlight sets the circadian clock, boosts vitamin D, and strengthens natural killer cell activity. It doesn't have to be intense, just consistent. And if that walk happens in a green space, as Margaret Ellis discovered, it's not just exercise, it's immune restoration through nature. She began calling it her healing hour. Mid-morning to noon is a time for gentle productivity, but also for connection, a phone call, a shared meal, a chat with a neighbor. Calvin Brooks found immune resilience through woodworking circles. Others find it in church groups, gardening clubs, or simply visiting the local cafe. The point is not to fill time. The point is to feel seen. Because when the heart feels safe, the immune system stands down its unnecessary defenses. And emotional safety is biochemical. Lunch can be light but should support the gut. Add a fermented food. Ellen chose sauerkraut and kefir. Others may prefer miso soup or kombucha. These foods repopulate the microbiome and regulate inflammation. They're easy to prepare, they cost little, but their benefits ripple through every immune cell. You're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding your body's defense system. The afternoon is often when the body begins to tire. That's when rhythm matters most. Instead of pushing through or giving in to unhealthy cravings, treat this time as sacred. Rest briefly, meditate, stretch, water your plants. It's not about doing nothing. It's about doing the right kind of nothing. The immune system uses this pause to recalibrate. If you like music, play soft instrumentals. If you enjoy puzzles, do one. This is your time to exhale. Dinner should arrive without urgency. Prepare it slowly if you can. Use your hands, smell the herbs. This is nourishment as ritual. Include vegetables, roasted carrots, leafy greens, steamed broccoli. Add protein and a good fat source, olive oil, avocado, flax. Within weeks, his cold vanished. Evening is the body's cue for surrender. Light matters here. Dim the bulbs, switch off screens, and let your nervous system breathe. For Phyllis Morton, it was jazz and a warm bath. For others, it may be scripture, poetry, or simply silence. Journal about your day. Note one small thing you did well. This reinforces self-trust, and it prepares the body for sleep, the final frontier of immunity. Sleep doesn't come from exhaustion, it comes from rhythm. And when your day flows with thoughtful meals, natural movement, heartfelt connection, emotional peace, and a calm wind down, sleep becomes restoration. This is the moment when your immune system repairs, resets, and remembers its purpose. In the world of elderly reflections, we've heard it again and again. People don't just want to live longer. They want to live more deeply, more wisely. They want their days to matter. In every small choice you make after 60, the meal you plan, the walk you take, the friend you call, is a step toward that kind of living. So here's the invitation. Don't wait for perfect. Choose one habit. Just one. Begin there. Watch it settle into your day like a friend returning home. Let it change you, then add another and another. Let your rhythm become your medicine. Because your immune system doesn't just want to survive, it wants to respond to the way you live. It wants to honor your intentions. And if you live it, it will. As we come to the close of this journey, I want to leave you with one thought. The immune system may weaken with age, but the will to live meaningfully does not. Each of these habits is more than a health strategy. They're expressions of self-respect, of wisdom earned, of choosing to live not just longer, but better. At Elderly Reflections, we believe deeply in the power of small changes that lead to big healing. You don't need to do everything at once, but you do need to begin. Start with breakfast, or a walk, or even just a moment of quiet before bed. Whatever you choose, do it with care, with dignity, with the quiet conviction that you still matter immensely. If this content touched something in you, we'd love for you to be part of our growing community. Click like to support our work. Subscribe to Elderly Reflections to stay inspired with more real-life stories, elderly wisdom, and life lessons that grow more valuable with age. And in the comments below, let us know, where are you watching from? We'd love to hear your voice. You are not alone in this. Your reflection matters.